So I feel like in the past 10 years we've seen like a slow rise of these big companies being more comfortable putting out R-rated shows and movies, and I feel like gaming is the next place where that can really be taken advantage of. And I think right now would be a great time for a Punisher game. But I feel like a lot of people don't even know that there was a Punisher game, a more modern one, even though it was 2005. You can think of it as a comparable game to the first Max Payne and second one, with a lot of the mechanics kind of being the same. As I said, it came out in 2005. It was linked to a movie that came out the year before, which if you haven't seen, I would check out. It doesn't have great reviews, but I still think it's a pretty good movie. And one thing you'll notice about the movie and game is this Punisher compared to the TV show that was released a couple years ago. This Punisher is more reserved, not really showing much emotion. So basically the premise of the game is you start off as Frank being interrogated by these two detectives, and the whole game is basically you telling them what happened and you playing through it. The gameplay, like I said, is pretty comparable to Max Payne 1 and 2. You have your standard aiming, diving, crouching. I will say the diving isn't as good as Max Payne though, because there isn't any slow motion mode, which kind of, if you play on harder difficulty, it kind of makes it useless to be honest, because it's really hard to aim and dive and all that. Also, you can only dive like forward, back, and sideways. There's really no diagonal diving, which can make it feel clunky. You can also take body shields, which is very useful if you're playing on the hardest difficulty. One thing that's different about this game from other shooters, there's no like health packs, you know. In Max Payne, you got that painkiller. There's nothing like that in this game. You can eventually buy something that gets you health for killing the enemies, but there's really nothing like that, so that can be annoying. Just kind of being on low health and not really having a way to get it back up. Frank also has a thing called slaughter mode, which basically you just use it. You can't lose health. If you get hit, it just drains the meter. And you basically just throw knives at the enemies, and if you run out of them, you can do a quick kill. And through all this, you're earning points, which you can later use to upgrade Frank. Best way to get points, it seemed like for me playing it, was getting kills without getting hit, which can be a little annoying at times. I will say the aiming was weird on keyboard and mouse, because the default keybind was F, which at the very least made it weird and different. Also, the aiming has like a arcadey feel. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you ever play it, you'll know what I mean. It's just like the way you sway and stuff when you go left to right is very different. You can also dual wield, which is probably more useful on easier difficulties, but if you're dual wielding on harder difficulties, it just kind of feels like it gives you more opportunities to get hit. The gameplay wise for the bosses, most of the bosses are easy, some of them are just a little tedious. The actual character for the bosses are fun, but the gameplay, like the actual boss fights, aren't the greatest. They're alright though, they're passable. Now the best part of this game by far is the interrogations.
How Bushwhacker set this up? Why haven't there been any alarms?
I'm not seeing a damn thing. We bribed the guard at the gate. He was supposed to delay you.
Good, Rhino. Nice team up.
There's so many different ways you can interrogate people in this game, and I feel like it's kind of an unexplored mechanic in games like this. The just sheer amount of different types they have is impressive for a game around this time. I will say one problem I have with the interrogations is they kind of feed into the score you get during the levels, and for some reason if you interrogate someone and then after you get the info out you kill them on the thing you're interrogating them on, you get minus points. But you can literally right after that, if you don't kill him, you can hit E, put him back on your body shield, and then just hit Q and kill him, and you gain points. So I don't really understand that. That you're the Punisher. I don't really get why you can't kill him, but then you can kill him. And also, while you're doing the interrogations, there's times where Frank has like PTSD attacks, and you know, images will flash on the screen showing that. The gore is pretty good also, even though there's like a black and white filter when it happens. And I've read online that there's like a mod you can get somewhere to remove those, but it really doesn't take much away from the game. And also sometimes from the interrogations you can get information out from the guys about, you know, enemies in the next room or something. and they'll go in first to kind of get the enemies to relax so you can kill them quickly before they shoot at you, or you can even throw them through the door as kind of a distraction and then shoot them.
They shoot, you die.
Yo, Tommy, don't shoot! It's me, and the Punisher.
I should shoot you myself. Hold your fire, boys.
Did like wonders.
There's also at least one in the game, I'm pretty sure, where you can get them to talk to them and you can just walk past them.
Maybe not.
There are also kill zones, which one complaint I would say I have is there's not really a lot of them for as many. There's probably like for every, I don't know, 20, I would say 20 interrogations, there's like one kill zone. I wish there were more kill zones because they're basically just glorified cool kills that are quick. And I think if there's a better balance of them and the interrogations, that would have been really cool. Now, there's also a lot of cameos in this game. A lot of them being very short, though, so it's kind of weird that it seems like they kind of just crammed everything into one game. Like, you got Daredevil in here for, I don't know, probably like 30 seconds. You got a mission where you're basically fighting up Fisk's tower, or a skyscraper, or whatever. And you finally get to him, and your interaction with him is very short, and then he's just gone. You got a mission at the Stark Towers where you go through that whole thing, and then he probably has like a 20-second cutscene, and then he's gone. You got Nick Fury, which I feel like is a good cameo because you actually like fight with him during the one mission. Same with Black Widow. She actually like fits into the story. You have the boss fight with the Russian, which is probably the best boss fight in the game. The first one you have in the apartment.
Punisher flying rough.
You also have a boss fight against Bullseye, which was alright. And then you have the last boss fight of the game, which I feel like is kind of weird having him be the final boss fight, because it's Jigsaw, by the way. But he's the final boss fight, and you don't even really know about him being in the game till the last, like, I don't know, hour, maybe hour and a half of gameplay. And the whole game takes, I don't know, 6 hours if you're not dying a lot to beat. There's even a boss fight where a boat has a health bar and you're literally in a crane just smashing the boat, which I thought was kind of funny. There's also a boss in this game that has a kind of out-of-pocket line that just kind of comes out of nowhere, which just caught me off guard.
What is the damned holdup? Pull your head out of your ass and get that missile active!
Sir, the procedure takes time.
If that nuke isn't armed in 30 seconds, I'm gonna use you as a condom!
Now, going on to the negatives, I don't really have a whole lot. Like I said before, the diving is kind of just pointless. It doesn't really feel good either. Also, the losing points for killing in the interrogation doesn't really make sense. There are 2 points where the checkpoints are like really annoying. There's a mission where you're in this like samurai like tower thing, and you hit this button for a secret door, and you have to wait like 3 minutes fighting off people. And if you die at any time, you basically have to start over. So that can be annoying. Also, the last mission in this game is very, very annoying. You're basically just going down a hallway of killing these armored guys, and it's probably like a good like 50 people. And without like the shooting and stuff in this game, it's very easy to get hit and lose a lot of your health. So dying at that when you're like close to the end and then having to restart the whole thing over it was just painful. But honestly, those things are the only bad things I can say about the game. I think if you like the Max Payne, first 2 Max Payne games and are a fan of the Punisher, I think you really like this game. I'm gonna start rating games I do videos on, and I think I'd give this one a solid like 8.3. I think this is a really just underrated game that not many people know about. And I'd be curious if anyone that sees this video has played it and what they thought about it. Thanks for watching.
is the damned holdup? Pull your head out of your ass and get that missile active!
Sir, the procedure takes time.
If that nuke isn't armed in 30 seconds, I'm gonna use you as a condom!